Hello. Welcome to the office of Employee 427. I am Employee 427. Each day, I press buttons. But today, there are no buttons to press. I must figure out why.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself.
I don't
and
care about my
constantly
co-workers.
needed
I
support
must
and
find
guidance
the
from
buttons.
others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Buttons,
When Stanley
buttons,
came to a
buttons,
set of
buttons,
two open
buttons,
doors, he
buttons,
entered the door on
buttons,
his left.
buttons. Button, 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 button.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Button.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Buttons.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Buttons, where are the buttons? I gotta find the buttons. It still opens, but I doubt that it actually.
Here's the door, just go.
Buttons. Yeah, got it right. Buttons, gotta find the buttons, got to find the button. Button, gotta find the button. Buttons, gotta find the buttons, gotta find the buttons.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Button. Button.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Buttons.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Buttons. Buttons.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Button?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Button? Box. Button?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Button?
When Every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance. Death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
But...
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Button! Button, button, button. I'm trying to hit the buttons on my real keyboard, but it's not working out. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the 2 doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout. Most of the development through the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. Filing cabinets. Is this like the developer's place? Buttons! Button. Button. The office. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard stroking to synthesize tone. Huh. Original credit. But no, don't give me a choice here. I don't have to go all the way back through the office. Maintenance room. The early version of the maintenance room. Have I seen that yet? Someone could just get rid of this text, maybe then I could see what this game is about. Words, 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 larger! Am I going crazy? Maybe it is in the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD remix. The Stanley Parable... The point of this print is to win. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. Okay, another room. Well, this is... Tron? Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Oh no, I would have enjoyed that greatly. Aww. We should have kept it. Is this... Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. I am Anthony, alias Business Broker. Please, the Stanley Parable have infinite quests. How many endings? The Stanley Parable is really going to let me go shopping. I hope it will have a fine section of desert boots. Please, I would like to keep this proposal as top transfer of Wang Yang? What? Could you tell me what the significance of the number 1112800 is? There's a skeleton inside of you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. Thanks and goodbye. I like that. That's good. Subject final warning. How do you make a RPG? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between a duck? What? How do you type with boxing gloves? Okay, we're done. The office. The lounge. The cargo lift. Second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Do you hear that clicking? I think it's coming from there, but... First, the cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Yep. Meeting room. Number one option. One doorway to maintenance in the lounge. Oh, maintenance. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I understand. What about vent? Is it vent? One doorway to maintenance in the lounge and the original back on track option. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will play them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but only it was the simplest version that won out. Probably that one? Okay. Well, now I definitely know that I need to go back. Okay. Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player will pull the lever and the narrator will describe what colored lever they have pulled. It's up here. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, but each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released in May 2012. Features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing reviewers that he's preparing a new version of the Stanley Parable. Not gonna be any sound. Okay. Well, if you want to see that, then search on YouTube. What's this? Nope, be right back. Okay, back. Game is now paused. Begin the game, resume the game options, return to menu. Escape menu. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this is what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Zending. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. I wonder which ending that is. I'm gonna have to figure out. There's so much stuff. Countdown desk. Countdown ending. I need to figure that out. Okay, okay, that's the place. We're almost through here. Countdown room. Button. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. Ban this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and place the two endings together instead. Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of an audition piece. The strengths of this level got William hired to design the full game, though much of the environment has changed. The basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. Okay. What else is in here? 4-7. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, the second in March 2012, and the third in February 2013. Just got bigger and bigger, and had more stuff in it. Wow. So he had one computer, then he had 2 computers, and now he has 1 again. Interesting. Now where am I going? Okay, I'm going back through here. The exit was over here. I think I've looked at everything.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
You're supposed to pull it?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they
What?
both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
I should have quit the game. Should have quit the game. Who was that? Why was there suddenly a female narrator? What's happening? Wait, do I have to quit? What's happening? I think I have to quit. Okay. Well, I think I'm done with the Stanley Parable for now. I just have like 4 or 5 parts. But see you guys later in some other game. Bye.